Survivor 45 premiered on September 27, 2023, as 17 new players were brought to Fiji to battle it out in this 5th season of the new era, with this season also featuring its first new era returning player, as Bruce would get a second chance after basically playing for only 12 hours in 44. Despite this though, Emily immediately called him out as a potential target in front of everyone. After this, the tribes competed for a pot and machete, with Reba coming out on top, as Lulu, highlighted by Brandon literally failing to climb a ladder, would completely fail, a sign of things to come this pre-merge. At the Sweat and Savvy Challenge, this year, both tribes would have to do both Sweat and Savvy to earn their supplies, with each tribe failing the Savvy portion. On Lulu, Emily targeted Caleb and Sabaya, feeling that they really found an advantage, while Hannah showed signs of quitting already. On Bello, Bruce, despite not wanting to come across as a dominant father figure, did exactly that, much to the annoyance of his tribe. On Reba, both Sifu and Austin looked for an advantage, and while this made Sifu a target, Austin found the Beware advantage, and couldn't vote until he completed all his tasks for the idol. At the immediate challenge, Lulu would be the ones to lose, sending them to the first tribal of the season. Despite Brandon literally failing at the most basic of challenges, and Hannah wanting to quit, Emily was the target after playing way too hard too fast, and in general annoying her tribe mates. But at tribal,
and I love them, but like everything in my body is like, I'm not going back to that camp. Please don't make me go back to that camp.
All right, Hannah, grab your torch. Hannah, the tribe has spoken.
After getting a second chance, Emily knew she was still on the outs and looked for an idol, but failed to find one. However, finally realizing that playing this way wasn't good long term, she started to make bonds with her tribe mates. Brandon then found the Beware advantage, but gave it to Sabaya as he didn't want to lose his vote, which would make it all that much more hilarious when at the summit, Brandon would risk his vote for an advantage, but once again failed, while Drew would earn the safety without power advantage. At the immediate challenge, Lulu would once again lose, in large part due to Brandon failing at the puzzle, sending them back to tribal. Sabaya would find the Beware advantage before tribal, but would have to burn the idol with fire, and since Lulu had no flinch, she couldn't vote, but that didn't matter, as it was obviously between Brandon and Emily, as Brandon was extremely weak while Emily was not trustworthy. In the end, despite Emily's awful play, Lulu simply could not overlook Brandon and his challenge failures, sending him home in a 3-0 vote.
Brandon, the tribe has spoken. Oh.
After Emily realized that there was only 3 votes, she figured that Sabaya was the one who didn't vote, causing distrust between the two. Lulu would finally get some momentum going as they won the reward challenge along with Reba. Caleb would then raid Reba's beach, but not before forming a bond with them, and after this, he would give the goodwill advantage to Drew, which would restore 1 lost vote, only for him to give it to his closest ally Austin, as those two and Julie and Dia formed a tight foursome. On Lulu, basically out of nowhere, Sabaya targeted Caleb, as she was scared he was too big of a jury threat. Despite this literally still being a pre-merge. Bruh, this tribe is something else. On Bello, Kelly and Brandon found themselves in the middle between Bruce and Jake, and Katara and Kendra, as one of the best one-sided rivalries in Survivor history was taking place on that tribe.
Yeah, that's good. Very good.
Every 5 minutes, Bruce is explaining you something, telling you how to do something.
Know that right now it's about 12 o'clock.
He's like, don't call me dad, call me uncle, but you're acting like dad. Bruce became a little bit of a celebrity after his episode aired, and he will keep reminding you of it.
Despite winning reward, it did not carry over at the immunity challenge, as Lulu would lose their 3rd straight immunity to start off the season. Despite their failures, Sabaya was hell-bent on getting out Caleb. However, Emily ratted her out to Caleb, but he didn't know if she was being serious or not, as Sabaya had told him that she would do this to throw him off. Sabaya would use the tribal council fire to burn the wax to her idol. However, when it came time to vote, she chose not to, as she wanted to extend the life for her idol. However, she'd be voted out with an idol in her pocket after having it for 10 minutes, as Emily and Caleb banded together to take her out in a 2-1 vote.
3rd person voted out of Survivor 45. Sabaya.
I don't think I'd be here this early, Jake. I'm not gonna lie.
Sabaya, the tribe has spoken.
After that crazy tribal, Sean obviously knew he was on the outs, but luckily for him and the viewers at home, for the first time in a new era, we would finally get a legit tribe swap. The new Bela tribe consisted of Brando, Austin, Drew, Kendra, and Emily. The new Reba consisted of D, J, Maya, Sifu, Sean, and Julie, while the new Lulu consisted of Jake, Bruce, Katara, Caleb, and Kelly. Despite both the former Lulus of Caleb and Sean being all alone on their respective tribes, they were both given hope, as Katara was still hell-bent on getting out Bruce, while the ladies of Ruba were still wary of Sifu having an idol, and thought this might be the perfect time to blindside him, with Sean being the easy vote. On Bello, Emily was a clear swing vote, with Austin and Drew going all in and trying to persuade her over. At the immunity challenge, Reba would lose, sending everyone but Sean to their first tribal. While Sifu assumed Sean was the easy vote, the girls were ready to blindside Sifu. However,
so respectfully, I would kindly ask that when you vote tonight, that you write my name down on the parchment.
Fourth person voted out of Survivor 45. Sean, it's 3 hits enough. You need to bring me your torch. Sean, the tribe has spoken.
Despite Sean quitting, the tribe still had a vote, with Dee voting for Sifu, hoping that the girls would go along with the plan. And after Tribal, Sifu wanted to know who it was that voted for him, and eventually, J Maya would give in to stop the paranoia. On Bello, Drew attempted to create a nerd alliance with Brando, but Brando was surprisingly not into aligning with the former Reba. At the immediate challenge, Bello would lose, but before Tribal, Kelly, J Maya, and Austin had to go on a journey, where they had to come to a majority decision on whether to take the amulet or some sandwiches. Despite Austin really wanting the sandwiches, he gave in to the girls won the amulet. Back at Bello, it was clear between the nerds of Brando and Drew, with Emily as a swing vote, and in the end, Austin and Drew had won her over, making Brando the final pre-merge boot of the season.
Brando, the tribe has spoken.
Episode 6 would begin with the 3 tribes coming together on Reba's beach, but right before then, Bruce would find an idol. J Maya was an initial easy target for the tribe. However, Bruce's paranoia and general behavior continued to drive everyone crazy, making him the clear target. Luckily for him though, he, Couture, Austin, Drew, Julie, Kendra, and Sifu would win immunity. So now in power, Bruce led the charge against Caleb, as everyone realized just how much of an amazing social player he was. And at Tribal, everyone was on board to take him out, and with no other choice, he had to play the shot in the dark. And wouldn't you know it?
Caleb, you are... No! Safe. Caleb does not count.
Oh, man.
Caleb does not count. What? Oh. Wow. 1 vote left. Caleb does not count.
So after that, the next easy target for everyone was J Maya, sending her home in a 10-1 vote, and in an all-time iconic Earn the Merge episode.
The little kid in me is very happy.
Glad you were here. Jake, the tribe has spoken.
Episode 7 would begin with the immediate challenge, as the final 12 were split into 2 teams of 6, and 2 people would be going home. However, the person who lasted the overall longest would have their team go to Tribal second, which would ensure them a spot on the jury. Dee and Kelly would be the ones to win immunity, with Dee lasting the overall longest. On Kelly's tribe, while Bruce was an easy target for the majority, she, and for that matter Kendra, were really the only people in the game who wanted to work with him, or at the very least, have him be a shield going forward. And at Tribal, they spared him to take out the wild card and former Reba Sifu in a unanimous vote.
Is this even real life right now?
It is. Oh. Seafood, the tribe has spoken.
In Dee's group, with no shot in the dark to play, Caleb was once again the easy vote, but Jake, not wanting to do the easy route and wanting to break up the Rebas, told Couture to vote for Julie, as there would be no way Austin would go to rocks for her. But at Tribal, Couture played it safe, sending Caleb to the jury in a 4-2 vote.
Caleb, the tribe has spoken.
Jake immediately owned up to his vote against Julie, and thus became a new target. For the first time in 15 seasons, the Survivor auction will return. However, as per New Era rules, it would be super complicated, as the castaways had to look for money before the auction, and the person who ended up with the most amount of money after a certain number of rounds would lose their vote at the next Tribal. Thus, pretty much the person with the most amount of money each round would go for the item whether they wanted it or not. In the end, Bruce, who ironically had the lowest amount of money going into the auction, had the most amount when it ended, and thus lost his vote. Luckily for him though, he would win his first immunity of his Survivor career. So with Bruce off the table, Jake became the new easy target for everyone. However, since Bruce couldn't vote, Drew realized that the Reba 4 and Emily would have the majority to take out the much more threatening Kelly, and that way Jake would waste any advantage or shot in the dark tonight, and they wouldn't have to worry about that going forward. And at Tribal, that plan would indeed come to fruition, leaving Kelly shell-shocked and one of the most brutal blindsides of the new era.
Kelly. 3 votes Jake, 1 vote Kelly. 9th person voted out and the 2nd member of our jury, Kelly.
Whoa!
What the hell, guys?
Kelly, the tribe has spoken.
I love you, Cal.
With Kelly and J Maya both gone, Austin now had 2 idols, one from the Beware Advantage and one from the Ambulance. The final 9 had to compete in 3 trios, and the first team that got eliminated would lose their votes and would have to earn them back on a journey, while the winning team would get the chance to compete for immunity. The team of Austin, Emily, and Katurah lost their votes, while the team of Julie, Bruce, and Kendra won reward, but Bruce would be the one to win his second straight immunity. At the summit, Austin would earn his vote back by solving a math problem, while Emily and Katurah couldn't, thus losing their votes. While Jake looked all but done for, Dee wanted to take out Kendra instead, as she heard Kendra had been gunning for her. And at Tribal, the tribe went along with Dee's plan, sending Kendra to the jury in a 6-1 vote.
Kendra, the tribe has spoken.
Episode 10 starts with Emily winning the reward challenge and brought the girls along with her, leaving the guys to have some bro time back at camp. But it also led to some conflict between Drew and Jake after the latter threw out the former's name, again desperately wanting to make a big move. At the immunity challenge, Austin would just outlast Bruce to win his first immunity, and thus, Bruce was finally on the table once again. And desperately wanting him out, Emily told him that Julie was a target to make him feel safe. And at Tribal, Bruce indeed felt safe enough to not play his idol, and thus, he would be blindsided in a 4-3-1 vote in a split vote along with Jake.
Playing this game with you guys, it has been an honor for my second time back. Honestly, I appreciate you.
Bruce, the tribe has spoken.
Yes, sir.
After Emily boasted about telling Bruce to vote for Julie and thus making him feel safe and secure, this only made her a bigger target in the eyes of the others. The final 7 had to send one person on a journey, with Emily being the one to go after drawing the rock. She had the choice to earn an advantage at the next immunity challenge if she were to solve the Savvy puzzle, but chose not to participate as she didn't want to risk losing her vote if she lost. At the immunity challenge, Drew would win his first and brought Austin and Jake along with him for reward, where they agreed that Julie was the biggest jury threat in the game. However, when they spread this throughout camp, Dee was not down for this, so she told Julie to play the idol that Austin had given her earlier to take out Emily, but Dee herself would vote with the majority to save face. And at Tribal, for only the 3rd time in Survivor history, a player would neglect all the votes with an idol play, and with their sole vote, Julie sent Emily to the jury, ending an all-time fun run for Emily.
1 vote left.
She's bigger than me. She's bigger. What is it?
12th person voted out and the 5th member of our jury. Emily, need to bring your torch.
It's okay. I'm so sorry.
Emily, the tribe has spoken.
Episode 12 begins with Austin winning the reward challenge, and it shows Dee and Katurah to join him in hopes that Julie wouldn't be able to strategize against him, given his closest ally would be back at camp. However, while back at camp, Jake would find the re-hidden idol, and vowed to finally make a big move in the game. After Dee won immunity, Katurah, Julie, and Jake all agreed that they had to break up the Austin-Drew duo, but Dee was hesitant to go against Austin this late in the game. At Tribal, Austin played his amulet idol, but in the end, he would lose his ally Drew, as the other 4 players would side against the duo, sending Drew to the jury in a 4-2 vote.
Drew, the tribe has spoken.
It's the finale now, and while Austin was upset, he and Dee quickly realigned going forward during this endgame. As per usual in the new era, the final 5 were dropped off on a new beach and had to use a number scheme to solve a combination, with Jake using past Survivor winners to earn an advantage at the next immunity challenge. However, he couldn't take advantage of it, as Austin would win his second immunity of the season. At a crazy pre-tribal, Austin and Dee targeted the jury threat Julie, but Dee then targeted Katurah after she heard that Katurah and Jake were gunning for her. And at Tribal, wanting to make a big move, Jake would play his idol for Katurah, hoping he would idol out Dee. However, Katurah, out of paranoia, would vote for Julie to save herself, which would send her to the jury in a 2-1-1 vote. As Dee's vote for Katurah was nullified, Julie voted for Jake believing he was the target, with Jake in the end being the only one to vote for Dee, with Katurah and Austin's vote sending Julie home. Seriously, what was this vote?
Maybe swear on Nana, dude. What the hell?
Julie, the tribe has spoken.
It's the final immunity challenge now, and Dee will be the one to come out on top, earn herself a spot in the final 3, and she would take her showmates along with her to day 26, with Jake and Katurah going to fire. And despite it being too little too late for Jake, he would finally get his moment, winning the fire making challenge, and making Katurah the final member of the jury.
Burn the rope, not me.
That is a big flame. Yes!
Great job. You're speaking. You're going to be an amazing lawyer.
Katurah, the tribe has spoken.
Austin, Dee, and Jake now against a jury of 8. As mentioned, while the jury liked Jake, they couldn't overlook his failures all game, thus making it between the showmans of Dee and Austin. It was a close vote, in fact the first non-7-1 vote of the new era, but in the end, Dee would be the one to come out on top, winning Survivor 45 in a 5-3-0 vote.
The winner of Survivor 45,
So there you have it, guys, Survivor 45 retrospective. Let me know in the comments below if you think this is the best season of the new era, and be sure to check out my past Survivor retrospective videos. With all that said, take care everyone, and I'll see you next time.